So currently in the US, there are many problems going on regarding our health. Coronavirus, the massive fires burning in California, a multitude of things, and we need to realize that these are not the only health concerns going on. Although they might be the most pressing, there are many things in the background that are actually happening. One of which are actually teenagers vaping. Teenagers vaping has been an epidemic actually in the US for the past few years. With the creation of new vape products, it's almost impossible as a teenager or child to avoid these from high school because they're just so prevalent today. As a teen myself, I've actually used and seen other teens use vaping products. So today I'm going to be discussing the problems, causes, and solutions associated with the teenage vaping epidemic and why it is a problem currently today in the US. So for the problems, we're going to be going over the widespread use and the dangers associated with vaping. For the causes, we're going to be talking about the addictive nature and the reformation process, also known as the relapse process associated with vaping. And finally, for the solutions, we're going to be going over banning of fruit flavors, anti-vaping ads, as well as legislation taken against vaping. So for the problems, what are the problems that we're going to be talking about? What are the problems associated with vaping? So first, it's the widespread use. 1 out of 4 teenagers have reported using vaping products in their lifetime. This is 25% of a population full of millions and millions of kids and teenagers, which is not healthy at all, showing you just how widespread and easy it is to obtain a vape device or use it. The second problem we're going to be going over, and that source was US News, September 30th, 2019. So another problem associated with vaping is the danger. So according to People magazine on December 9th, 2019, 805 serious injuries occurred in 1 month, not from long-term problems like popcorn lung or whatnot, but from devices exploding or ingestion of juices. And this is just not a great way to just have your product be in the market. And on top of long-term health effects, it causes immediate danger. So also, we're going to go over the causes. What are the causes associated with vaping? What causes all these teenagers to do it? So first of all, it's addictive. Once you stop, you can never stop. Once you start, you can never stop. So according to the Mortality News report on July 24th, 2020, 3.6 million teens reported that they're addicted to vaping. This number doesn't concern me as much as how 3.6 million people are constantly buying products, which is fueling the market for more and more things to happen. So 3.6 million people is not the problem. It's that 3.6 million people are exponentially growing the market for vaping to eventually just take over. We cannot have this. The second cause of this problem is the relapse nature of vaping. So according to the University of South Carolina on August 20th, 2020, they reported that 1 out of 2 kids wanted to actually quit vaping, but were unable to because of just how prominent nicotine addiction was within their own bodies, meaning that it was almost impossible for them to quit. It wasn't just like a problem, it became something that's a part of their life, like water, food, drink, anything. So that is another one of the causes. For the solutions, what are the steps we can take to prevent this problem from just occurring again? So the first solution companies have taken is actually to remove flavored vapes such as mango, fruits, because this is what draws teenagers in. We indeed actually want to lessen the amount of joy people get out of vaping and use it more as a way for people that were on cigarettes to quit. So instilling tobacco and menthol flavors is actually the way to go. This was brought to you by the Amsterdam Times on September 5th, 2019. Another way in which we can solve this problem is through anti-vaping ads. So according to the Mortality News report on November 22nd, 2019, it was actually reported that vaping ads actually reduced new incumbent vapors by up to around 20%. So although this is not a huge percentage, it's actually a percentage that helps us in the long term. Finally, people have actually taken legislative action against these companies. So according to the New Jersey Law Journal on November 25th, 2019, it was actually reported that the New York Attorney General sued a vaping company called Juul in order to say that they were promoting to kids, which is true. So this has led to Juul actually becoming disbanded and becoming a small company of itself. So this is another way we can prevent vaping, by actually telling these companies, hey, we're going to put down legislation for you to stop. So overall, I've argued that vaping is still a huge problem amongst the teenage and child population in the United States, by going over the problems such as the widespread use and the serious injuries occurring from it, the causes such as addictiveness and the relapsing, and the solutions such as removing flavored vapes, using ads, and by imposing legislation.